Here's a fascinating question I want you to consider. If you asked every person on your team to honestly rate how much of their capability they bring to work each day, not their effort, their actual capability, what number do you think they'd give? Liz Wiseman's research has an answer, and it might be a little sobering. Leaders who diminish the people around them, often without any awareness that they're actually doing that, typically access around half of their team's actual intelligence and capability. Think about that, half. The other half is largely going unused. That's what we're talking about this week with our specific MLDC Book of the Week. I'm Seth Winterhalter. This is the HaltingWinter podcast. This week inside the MLDC, we're going to work through the book Multipliers, How the Best Leaders Make Everyone Smarter. It's by Liz Wiseman. It's one of the top books kind of in this area of culture and mindset. I want to spend some time today kind of giving you the summary and why this might be a great week for you to start your journey in the MLDC. Again, an annual membership brings you content every single week. We take a book of the week. This is what you get regardless of all the other stuff we throw into this. A book of the week where we distill the insights daily. You have a daily podcast. It's a private podcast for MLDC members. You get a daily blog post, short, easy to read, something to chew on. You get the community, you get mastermind sessions, you get, gosh, there's so much stuff. And again, why do we do this? Why do we have the MLDC? Well, it's because as a professional speaker who speaks around the country to municipal leaders, I just see a need. I see a need for network, most importantly, and relationships across the country, not just in your state, not just in, state associations, but across the country with municipal leaders who really want to make things happen. And that's what I love about municipalities is you guys aren't really trying to keep trade secrets. You're very open to sharing and helping one another. And so I think a community that's doing that intentionally, but also it's the constant drip of growth. It's the constant drip of curiosity and thinking. That's why we go through books of the week. So you constantly have something to chew on, to consider, to keep your eyes fresh as you look at your organization and as you look at your leadership. If that sounds like something that would help you, I know it would. Join us. Go over to haltingwinter.com/MLDC. You can learn more about it, and you can set up a call to chat specifically with me and to see how we can help you or maybe even your entire team. We've got a number of organizations whose entire leadership team, if not their entire organization, is in the MLDC. So haltingwinter.com/MLDC. Okay, let's get into it. Wiseman divides leaders into two camps, multipliers and diminishers. Think about that. I'm sure even people come to your mind in your organization right now. Who are the multipliers? Who are the diminishers? Multipliers amplify the intelligence around them. They create conditions where people think harder. They take more ownership. They desire to grow in their capacity. Diminishers absorb the intelligence around them. They dominate thinking. They solve all the problems. They provide all the answers, whether they're right or not. And over time, those under their leadership, their teams become smaller, more passive, more dependent. Here's the part that I think will really stand out as we mine the insights from this book. The most damaging diminishers are not the ones you'd expect. They're not the domineering, ego-driven leaders who obviously take up all the oxygen in the room. Those are pretty obvious. They're the high-performing, deeply committed, exceptionally hardworking leaders who genuinely believe they're helping, but have no idea that their behavior is costing their organization significantly. If you're really wise right now, you might look in the mirror and see that it might be you. Wiseman calls them accidental diminishers. And for local government leaders, especially the ones I work with, the ones I come in contact with around the country, I think this hits closest to home because I think some of you have these traits, some of these troubled areas. Think about the path a city, a county manager, leader takes. They're the ones who, right, they start off by learning, by knowing all that's going on, budget processes, planning. They're the ones who are anticipating council questions. They're the ones who can walk into a messy operational problem and see the solutions faster than anyone else in the room. The expertise, the reliability, that pattern recognition, the very things that put you into that seat are now the very things that are going to limit you in your leadership and hinder your organization. Because when you walk into a meeting already knowing where you want to land, your team reads that signal. When you step in The moment someone begins to struggle, you're teaching them that you will catch them before they have to figure it out themselves. When you're visibly enthusiastic about an idea, your team stops deliberating and pushing back because they can read from your energy alone what the outcome's going to be. Now, none of those behaviors are malicious. None of them come from ego. They come from competence. They come from care. But their impact is the same. The impact is that it creates a team that brings you a fraction of what it's actually capable of. Now, local government makes some of the realities from this book, some of the insights, even harder to chew on and to address because of the unique environment that you work inside. Your environment, if we're honest, I think it's oftentimes designed to produce diminishers. Council expects you to have the answers. The public holds you accountable when anything goes sideways. Civil service systems constrain how freely you are able to deploy, develop talent. Union agreements shape what accountability actually looks like. Public scrutiny, the constant awareness that a bad decision could become a headline, creates a pressure environment that bleeds into how your organization operates internally. When the cultural message, reinforced from every direction, is do not get it wrong, well, then also your team is going to stop bringing you honest thinking and starts only bringing the safest thinking. And safe thinking is expensive. Wiseman identifies 5 disciplines that separate multiplier leaders from diminisher leaders, and we're going to get into those this week. We're going to dive into each one and ask ourselves, in the assessment of our organizations, where are the multipliers, where are the diminishers, where am I specifically, and how can we lean in and push towards a culture, an organization that has more multipliers than it does diminishers. That's the work we're going to do. If that is interesting to you, again, it's a great week to join. Would encourage you to go to HaltingWinter.com/MLDC. Check it out. Set up a call with me. I'd love to chat with you and see how we can create a membership that would actually impact you and your organization for the best. Until next week and a new book, I'm Seth Winterhalter. Thanks for listening to the Halting Winter podcast. Keep leading with impact.